As we look ahead to National Day for Truth and Reconciliation later this month, a new limited series follows the experience of a group of siblings who were forced from their homes into Canada's residential school system.
My name is Aileen Spears. I am from the Cree Nation in Manitoba, Canada.
When things are too good, I'm just scared that things will be taken away.
Bones of Crows unfolds over the next 100 years as Aileen Spears and her descendants fight for a more just future in the face of systemic abuse. For more on the limited series, creator and director Marie Clements is with us in studio. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Marie, this is a series that's not based off of one true story, but on a series of events. Every Indigenous family in this country will have a connection back to residential schools. How did you come up with this storyline, as Aileen is the character for this miniseries?
Yeah, I mean, I think the touchstone obviously is based in truth, and I think our personal relationship to that often dictates, how we're gonna tell that story. So for me, really my mother and my aunties were an inspiration for Aileen Spears, who's this, strong matriarch in her family and endures residential school experience, but also looking at it in I guess in a, multi-generational way, and looking at how resilience is a part of who we are.
You also made a movie of the same name that was released last year. How does the miniseries expand on stories from the film?
Well, I think the feature itself was pretty true, that we followed the main character, Aileen Spears, through her journey. And obviously with the miniseries, we just have this great opportunity to go back in and look at other points of view of characters, that's related to her. So we see more story, on her siblings' story. We see her kid's story, her husband's story, kind of more fleshed out and their point of view. I think when one family deals with something like this, we often have a similar experience, but different ideas about what that was.
Some of the scenes that we were just sharing with people help to bring to life the stories that we've heard from people about being taken, about small children being taken, what it was like for the parents and the aunties and the grandfathers left behind, and what it was like for the children when they were there. You filmed parts of this at the Kamloops Indian Residential School around the same time as the 215 remains were found, and your cast and crew had a lot of people who had connections back to residential schools. What kind of weight or even responsibility does that add to this production?
I think we knew what we were getting into. Anybody that read the script and understands the history, for sure. But I think having the recovery of the 215 children at the same time, shooting at the residential school in Kamloops around the same time, and we were shooting in the dorms and looking outside and seeing thousands of people come to the memorial. So it just landed us and rooted us in a lot of people probably like to see that residential school is from the past, but for us it's very in the present on so many levels. And obviously with these new recoveries, it's like it's just so in the present. You can't really say it's 100 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
You remind us of that so well, that it's not just about one moment. This is years of, first of all, being taken, the trauma of being taken from a family or having a child taken, but then living through abuse and then facing racism and abuse even afterwards. What I love about this story is the multi-generational aspect of it, because it is a thread that runs through. Why was it important for you to take a look at that aspect of the story?
Yeah, I think there's been so many First Nations documentary filmmakers that have looked at events, and I think such an extraordinary canon of that witnessing. But I think looking at a multi-generational way, we start to understand that this one story in one person's family affected everybody that was connected to it. And I wanted to really look at our families and how they were able to cope with it, and how they were able to look at resilience in different ways of survival, that, the place we're at today. But I think it is a family story. Residential school is our shared history, but it is a very intimate family story. And really, that was, the key point of trying to have people experience that.
Talking about you for just a moment, this is the first Indigenous and female-led, produced, directed drama about the residential school experience in this country. What do you want people to take away after that they have viewed this?
I think the biggest thing is that, the opportunity in dramas that people feel that you get connected to the main characters or characters within that drama. So I think there's an opportunity that people can, I don't know, can it create empathy? Can it create an idea of what it was really like? And can people witness the resilience of Indigenous people in this country to see how far we've come and where we're going?
Moments like you described of looking out the windows of the Kamloops Indian Residential School building and just knowing that it was a young child who would have been looking out at the same view, wanting to be at home with their family is really powerful.
Yeah, I think, anybody that's ever had a child kind of understands, it's a parent's worst nightmare that their child would be taken away. So I think that's something that we all held, and can understand as humans that the very need to protect our children is our right,
Bones of Crows premieres September 20th at 9 on CBC television. It is available on CBC Gem. Marie, it was great to meet you. Thanks for coming in to talk about Bones of Crows.
Thanks so much.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.